right, this is a breakdown of the 2024-2025 GMEA All-State Concert Band 910 Snare Etude for Rolf. Okay, so first things first, we're in 6/8. It's a little brisk, but nothing unmanageable. Our roll subdivisions are going to be 16th notes. Dynamics play a huge part in this etude, okay, which we'll get into as we go through. But if there's one thing that you really need to hone in on, it's dynamic contrast on this etude, okay? So at the beginning here, kind of speaking on that, we keep going between mezzo forte and forte, okay? So I'm going to play in the same spot on the drum, but I'm just going to increase my velocity and height a little bit for the forte and then come back down for the mezzo forte, okay? But you don't want to have a huge difference, but you want to have something that's at least noticeable. So kind of something like this. Okay, so here on that roll, I kind of, and it went up a little bit, one more time. And then on that decrescendo to piano, I'm going all the way to the edge, okay? There's a lot of 1-and and 3-and. If you're watching this video, you probably already know this, but like for example, measure 1, that's not a triplet, okay? It's and 3-and, okay? Dotted eighth plus 3/16. You see a lot of and 3-ands and 6-ands and stuff like that in this etude. So you want to make sure you're not playing that like a triplet. You want to play it like those 3/16 notes, okay? We're at piano. When we have this crescendo at measure 11, I like to get back up to around the mezzo forte area, just to kind of exaggerate it just a little bit, and then I can come back down the next measure, making sure we get back to piano by measure 13, and then staying there. That crescendo at measure 16 is 2 bars, and it's only 2 dynamics, right, from piano to mezzo forte. So halfway through, I'm kind of checking myself. I'm kind of thinking that I'm at mezzo piano halfway through that crescendo. You do not want to overplay it, okay? We're only getting to mezzo forte. The forte piano roll. The way I like to play my forte piano rolls, I start with a single stroke. So instead of doing a buzz up front like this, I just do a single stroke. I find it's a lot cleaner and it accentuates the forte a lot more. One more time. Okay, so making sure that you have a single stroke there on the forte piano roll at the beginning, and then the left hand is at the edge ready to pick up the piano. Okay, we're back up to forte, then down to mezzo piano, halfway between center and edge. There's that rhythm again, 1 and 3 and 4 and 6 and. So again, this crescendo is over 3 bars, but you're only going up 2 dynamic levels, okay? So you don't want to overplay it. You do want to get to a strong forte, but you don't want to overplay it. You want to meter that crescendo so you're not either on the one hand staying too soft too long, or on the other hand getting too loud too fast, which I think is the more recurring thing. So you definitely want to meter that and just get a little bit louder. Every note gets just a little bit louder than the one before, but you don't want to get too loud too fast, okay? We're back to mezzo piano. Just a quick note, drags are diddles for the grace notes, okay? Don't buzz it. Make sure you play diddles, which comes into play a lot at measure 29 and 30, okay? Coming into measure 29, you have your first and only fortissimo, so make sure that that's the loudest point of the solo, okay? And then the next line, so we're starting loud here. We're starting at fortissimo at our drags. We're getting down to piano. Then we come back up. Okay, I'm doing all those drags with the same hand. I'm doing all right drags, even the 8th notes. Then we only come back up to mezzo forte for the flams. And again, I'm doing all of those one hand, just right hand flams. It's going to be more consistent than trying to alternate. Okay? So that phrase in totality. And then we're back up to forte, okay? Quick decrescendo back down to piano, and then note that we stay piano for the next entire line until the last measure, okay? Again, we've got going up and going down without anything written, so I'm going to go up to like mezzo, forte, forte to kind of accentuate that. This is measure 39 and 40 for the crescendo and decrescendo. And then we've got another long crescendo coming into the end. The penultimate measure with the flams, I like to play all right hand. So what I'm doing is, if I take out the grace notes and I'm playing the last two bars, so note I'm playing that entire measure with my right hand, okay? I find that it's easier to control the crescendo if you do it with one hand rather than try and go like flam tap. Okay, that is a viable way to do it. If you're super comfortable with flam taps, you're welcome to try. Or if you're not that nimble with your right hand and you don't want to play the whole measure with the right hand, that is another option. But I prefer playing the whole measure with the right hand because it helps me control the dynamics better. And I can keep the grace notes low in the left hand the whole time. And I won't have to worry about accidentally double stopping or anything like that. Okay, so it helps keep those flams nice and even. In general, I think that's about it. Just make sure that you're counting your rhythms, okay? 6/8 can be a little confusing sometimes, so just make sure that you are counting your rhythms correctly. Again, 16th sub on the rolls, and really, I'm going to harp on it one more time. Dynamic contrast is paramount in this etude, okay? Hope this helps.